Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at noon.
Happening now, a controversial mural at the center of attention for the city of Apopka will tell you how the city plans to move forward as leaders ask for thousands of dollars back. Plus, families in one community shared their concerns after learning the man next door is accused of trying to kidnap a teen. Those details right now at noon. So let's dig right into it. That man accused of attempting to lure a 17-year-old into his SUV appeared before a judge today. This is him over my shoulder, just was a moment ago. Investigators say he offered the girl money. She got angry, and then when she refused. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is in Eustis with these details.
It was in this neighborhood that Eustis police allege a 55-year-old man tried to abduct a teenage girl, offering her hundreds of dollars to get in his SUV before she ran off. 4 days after allegedly trying to kidnap a young girl, Gregory Lockwood appeared in court from the Lake County Jail. The 55-year-old is accused of trying to abduct the 17-year-old by driving near her, asking her where was the best place to get a drink. According to police, Lockwood then offered her $300 to get in his vehicle. But when the victim declined, Eustis police say Lockwood became angry, which frightened the young girl, who ran away.
Luckily, he didn't have the car door open, where he was out of the car. We could have grabbed her, probably physically. He's a big guy. He could have grabbed her and threw her in the car. Thank God that didn't happen. Thank God the girl was able to get away.
Lockwood was arrested Tuesday after police say surveillance images of his SUV helped identify him.
I found probable cause for those offenses.
He was in court the next day.
I will set your bond. I will set you a bond on that first count in the amount of $500,000, on the second count in the amount of $1,000.
For residents, the incident underscores the importance of remaining alert.
I also hope that this creates awareness because there are a lot of minors and children that live throughout this community.
Lockwood cannot have any contact with the victim or her parents. He's due back in court next month. In Eustis, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
All right, Stephanie, thank you for that report. And Orange County troopers say they have arrested a man accused of driving off after hitting someone on a bike with a box truck. So Florida Highway Patrol says troopers were dispatched. It was about 8 last night to 2 scenes. The first is the crash itself. That was near the intersection of Orange Blossom Trail and Woodsmere Avenue. Now, the second on eastbound I-4 near Maitland Boulevard exit. That is where FHP says troopers stopped the box truck driver. Jose Batista Gruyan, he is behind bars now. He faces a charge of failing to remain at the scene of a crash that did involve serious bodily injury. FHP also says witnesses told troopers they saw a Ryder box truck exit a parking lot or some sort of side street when the front of the truck hit a person on a bike. They added that the bicyclist is at the hospital and is in critical condition. Well, the man accused of carrying out a deadly mass shooting in downtown Orlando is now asking for another mental health evaluation. This is just days before he is set to stand trial. Jalen Edgar, who was 17 at the time, is accused of firing into a crowd. That was Halloween night 2024. 2 people were killed. And in a handwritten letter to the judge, Edgar says he was in a disturbed mental state on the night of the shooting. He now wants another chance, an evaluation before deciding on a plea deal offer from the state. A hearing is set for this afternoon. As it stands now, though, jury selection in Edgar's trial is set to begin on Monday. All right, 12:03, a shoplifting suspect behind bars now in Port Orange after officers say he tried to escape on a bike before they took him down. Look at this wild scene. Check it out.
Please stop. Please stop. Hey, stop. Yo, please stop. I got one running. Stop. Stop or you're going to get tackled.
I didn't do nothing. Why? Oh, my God. I didn't do nothing.
Stop.
Some sensitive video there. Port Orange police say 50-year-old Clarence Colmar hit multiple retail stores on December 30th. And officers say they found him trying to ride away when he refused orders to stop. Investigators did say they found stolen items in his pants and backpack. Colmar faces multiple charges now, including 2 counts of felony theft. He remains in jail on a $4,500 bond. Well, the city of Wildwood says that crews are working to repair a reported water main break. So we want to take you to the scene. It happened just south of the intersection US 301 and State Road 44. City says pooled water here has subsided. Crews are still looking for nearby utilities to make repairs. So far, officials say they don't know exactly what caused that water main break. Of course, as we get new information, we'll keep you updated on air and online on clickorlando.com. Well, the U.S. is targeting the so-called shadow fleet of ships that illegally transport oil from sanctioned nations like Russia, Iran, and Venezuela. Now, the move follows the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. It also claims the U.S. also wants to control Greenland. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
U.S. forces this morning seized 2 tankers linked to sanctioned Venezuelan oil. An operation in the Caribbean captured the Sophia, and a separate one in the North Atlantic secured the Bella One.
Understand, they are not generating any revenue from their oil right now. They can't move it unless we allow it to move, because we have sanctions, because we're enforcing those sanctions.
The U.S. had been tracking the Bella One from the Caribbean since December. The ship is now known as the Marinera and claims to be sailing under a Russian flag.
Literally got out a bucket of paint, painted a new flag on the side, said we're no longer a Venezuelan vessel, we're something else, right? That's not the laws of the sea.
These latest seizures come as the Trump administration focuses on Venezuelan oil following the raid to capture Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. In a social media post Tuesday, President Trump said interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over 30 to 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil to be sold at market prices. Some U.S. lawmakers have questioned the administration's focus on oil and whether there's a long-term plan for Venezuela.
This is all about the oil. And their new policy is might makes right. If we want it, we'll get it, and we'll use our military to accomplish that.
Trump administration officials are briefing all lawmakers on the Venezuela raid today and also facing new questions about claims the U.S. wants to take over Greenland.
There is still so many unanswered questions. I hope we get some answers today.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is discussing a range of options and utilizing the U.S. military is always one of them.
The U.S. always has military options for everything. I think it's a general statement. I think with Greenland, it's very clear that we are working on through diplomatic channels.
Sources tell CBS News that Secretary of State Marco Rubio, during an earlier congressional briefing, said President Trump would buy Greenland, not take it by force. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
All right, let's bring our focus closer home. It's not every day that a mural is at the center of controversy, but it is the case in Apopka as leaders plan to talk about the latest fallout over a botched mural. This is months after it was erased over accusations of plagiarism. The city is making a big decision on the nonprofit behind this project. News 6's Mark Lehman tells us this ended up being a costly mistake.
The city is seeking to be reimbursed about $5,000 from Main Street Apopka. That amount includes the cost to paint the mural that was here and then literally whitewashing this wall just days later. As commissioners are working to get that money back, they're also deciding if they want to continue their future with a nonprofit.
And I think it's extremely reckless if we continue to use taxpayers' dollars to fund this organization.
That was Apopka Commissioner Nanya Anderson back in September when the city voted to suspend its contract with Main Street Apopka. The nonprofit, which is focused on revitalizing the downtown business district, came under fire after organizing this mural, which an artist from Iowa accused of being nearly identical to her work.
All we've done is funded Main Street, and yet we're the one half the articles in the paper and half the articles on TV. Or it was the city of Apopka.
Because it's a partnership,
yeah,
so
right.
It's the liability falls on the city.
The mural was painted over less than 2 weeks after its creation, but now the city is deciding if it will move forward with the funding agreement for Main Street Apopka. The organization's executive director has since resigned, and Apopka is seeking reimbursement for funding directed towards the nonprofit that was used to create and remove the mural. So far, the city has given $12,500 to Main Street Apopka, money which is facing increased scrutiny from taxpayers.
This is not the first time that they messed up. This is like the fourth time. This is just the first time that it made news and that it inconvenienced the city.
Main Street Apopka has suggested a forfeiture of $4,600 from its next disbursement from the city, but that would only be on the table if Apopka decides to continue the contract. All of this will be discussed during today's commission meeting, which is set for 1:30 this afternoon. In Apopka, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Quite the story. All right, new at noon, a life-changing announcement for the entire student body at one Orange County high school. This is really neat. This morning, every currently enrolled student at Jones High School, from freshmen to seniors, learned that they are getting free tuition at Valencia College, and you can see their excitement there, all that applause. This was made possible through donors. The scholarships, they can be used toward an associate degree or even a hands-on technical training program. Students at the high school say the opportunity will help shape their future.
I'm absolutely stoked. I mean, hearing them actually saying that we have a full ride to Valencia, that's like, man, my heart was beating back there.
Oh my God, so worth it for that reaction too. Look at this. Jones students, they've got up to 5 years to take advantage of the scholarship. To do that, they have to register for at least one class or training program at Valencia College. Congrats to them, and man, congrats to the donors too. They just made their day. Well, the city of Kissimmee voted to renew its contract with a free rideshare service. And coming up, how much the demand has grown for that service, and also how well News 6's Alex Cook's ride along went. Candace?
Downtown Orlando Skycam right now, Lauren, looking great. We had a lot of overnight fog. Good news is the sun is shining, just a little bit of cloud cover out there, but as temperatures continue to warm into the weekend, could get close to near record-breaking temperatures before a cool down. We'll have your full forecast in minutes.
And good news, we can show you the view outside of our Mount Dora cam. A lot of our sky cams earlier covered by that fog, which is moving out of the area. We'll be right back. You're watching News 6 at noon.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Kissimmee, I've got some good news for you. Commissioners voted unanimously last night to extend funding for the city's free rideshare service. If you're not familiar, it's called the Freebie Electric Shuttle Program. It's been around since 2023, but now, as the city moves to renew its contract, News 6's Alex Cook took a Freebie for a test drive. Let's see if it's worth keeping around.
Sadek will be arriving in 2 minutes. That is incredibly fast. Everybody loves watching Alex wait on a shuttle. Wait up, Sadek. Oh, he's gonna park. My Freebie driver picked me up in a Tesla at Kissimmee City Hall just 2 minutes after I requested the ride. Hey, how's it going? He said it's not always so fast, though.
Around this time, usually we're all busy with the college, coming back to the train and the bus. They use this a lot. We're very busy with Valencia College.
I had him take me just up the road to HCA Florida Osceola Hospital. My driver's shift was over, but I had to get back to City Hall. I requested another Freebie. I hope I didn't cause anyone any delays today, taking my rides for science. All right, another few minutes later, and I'm getting on to another one. The wait time was no longer, and soon I was back at my news car, having spent not a single penny. That's a key difference between Freebie service in Kissimmee and Scout in Seminole. Here, it's 100% free to ride. Another difference, Freebie isn't replacing the bus service here like Seminole County plans to. It's a last-mile transit option designed to help you get to major destinations like the hospital or city hall from a bus stop or train station. City staff recommends approving the contract renewal, which will cost over $420,000 and keep Freebie running through March 2027. They say they gave over 25,000 rides in 2024, and while 2025 numbers haven't been finalized yet, they're expected to be even higher. In Kissimmee, Alex Cook, News 6.
Answered all my questions, Alex. Thank you so much. All right, let's bring you a live look at our Launch Credit Union Port Canaveral. Beautiful day there. You can see it's a little grim, but let me tell you something. The sun is out, and I can testify to that because earlier when we were talking about this meteorologist Candace Campos, we could barely see that shot.
I know.
Now we've got sun.
Right? We ran out, grabbed a coffee, and you needed the sunglasses. So, you know, that's just the way it's going to be. It might be like that again tomorrow. So heads up, if you are heading out the door early tomorrow morning, we might have to contend with a little more fog back into the forecast. But area-wide, today, tomorrow, and into your Friday, we're talking about temperatures feeling more like late March, early April at this point in time, with temperatures getting close to those low 80s. But then as we head throughout the weekend, we're having more of a transitional day on Sunday before some cooler air arrives early next week. Now, we're not talking about a big old blast with freezing and frost conditions, but we are still looking at cooler temperatures. We'll go from the 80s this week down to the upper 60s by next week. Out the door right now, it's a nice, comfortable day out there. Temperatures right now at 69 degrees in areas of the Villages. We're at 73 already in Orlando, 76 degrees there in Cocoa Beach. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Wednesday.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
All right, it's early dismissal day for many students across Central Florida. So if you're picking up the kids early, it will be a nice day if they have after-school activities. Not too hot, not too cool. They'll be in those low 80s. Humidity levels, though, not up to those springtime conditions either. So that's certainly some good news. And later on tonight, just enough moisture in the air. The winds will be calm. The skies will be clear. The three factors that we need to produce some fog, and that's exactly where we could be seeing again tomorrow morning. If we do get another dense fog advisory, it would be the fourth consecutive morning with advisories like that. But then early tomorrow morning, speaking of fog, for many of the runners who are going to be starting off and kind of kick-starting the Disney Marathon weekend, starts tomorrow, 5 a.m. at the starting line. We will have some patchy fog, some visibility issues, especially in and around the parking lots and things like that. So if you are running it or maybe going to support one of your runners, the weather won't be too bad. Last year, though, it was down into the 30s and 40s. So this is way more comfortable than what runners had to deal with last year. So after that, though, we're really talking about near record highs. So if you're going to be at the parks, maybe some of those runners trying to strut their new medals, it will be warming up. We're talking temperatures nearing records on Friday and Saturday before that cold front comes through. But notice there's not a whole lot of green associated with this front, meaning it's not packing a whole lot of rain. So we're going to bring the rain chances up only about 10% as that front comes through Sunday afternoon. Look at your forecast highs versus what the records could be. This is for Friday, getting pretty close to Orlando and Sanford, Leesburg, only about a degree or so shy of possibly tying some records set back in either 2013 or 1974. So we'll wait and see if we'll be in that record territory point. Once the front clears, this is kind of a snapshot of what you can expect Monday afternoon. Temperatures area-wide could be staying in the 60s. As you get results here, the full 7-day forecast, again, nearing records, feeling more like spring over the next couple of days. But winter, it returns early next week, Lauren.
Oh, of course it does. All right, Candace, thank you so much. Look, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about the city of Kissimmee extending its free rideshare program. That'll last another year. More good news. Your wallet can take another breather when it comes to visiting downtown Orlando. So coming up, the free rideshare service that is going on for another year. Also on News 6 tonight.
We are pretty much at the sustainable limit of groundwater withdrawals from the upper Florida aquifer, so that we need to be looking to alternative water supplies in order to meet those future needs.
Central Florida is using more water and fast. We'll tell you how one local business is cutting back, but what this could mean for the rest of us. Welcome back here at 1222 on your Wednesday. A program that lets people park for free in downtown Orlando is being extended for another year. It just keeps getting better, right? Park DTO program lets people use a special app to get 2 free hours of parking at on-street metered and non-metered spaces, and each account can be used 16 times. It first launched in 2020. That was a way to boost businesses during the pandemic. The Downtown Development Board has now extended this program through the end of the year. Some developing news for you today out of Seminole Town Center in Sanford. The city confirmed JCPenney is officially sold. We have been following the future of the mall after it permanently closed last January. Well, in March, a privately held real estate firm, it's called Ardent Companies, shared that they plan to transform the mall into a new mixed-use development. More recently, we learned about plans to build a Costco and an apartment complex. So your Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, she is finding out as we speak what it means now that the JCPenney is sold. So let's talk about this. Speaking of malls, that's our poll for today. When is the last time you went to the mall? So I'm checking out here past week. Ooh, those numbers are low. Past month, much better. Past year, I'm squinting my eyes. I think that says, what, 30-something%? 20, 31. Obviously, my glasses need to be a little bit better. So, look, I get it. We all want to shop on Amazon. It's convenient. But remember, every dollar you spend locally, some of that, a portion of that goes back into our local economy. So we want to know what you think. Take that poll at clickorlando.com, especially. We have more on our Facebook page as well. And we have a new programming note. Drew is on the move to make way for something new. Starting Monday, the Drew Barrymore Show moves to 9 a.m. Then at 3, we've got a new show. It's coming to you live from Orlando. Again, all the excitement starts Monday here on News 6. Stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, temperatures out the door right now. We're in the mix of the 60s and 70s throughout the afternoon, though. We will continue to warm. Feeling more like the end of March, early April. We're flinging into spring, everybody, Wednesday and Thursday. But don't worry, for those who like it nice and cool, you can expect that to come back next week.
It's like a tale of two forecasts today. We had the fog and it was cooler, and now we're moving into spring in Orlando-ish.
Mixed bag.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow.